This video was created on the traditional territories of the Blackfoot Confederacy, Siksika, Kainai, Piikani, the Tsuut'ina, and the Yarhi Nakota Nations, the Métis Nation Region 3, and all people who make their homes in the Treaty 7 region of southern Alberta. Hi, I'm at Percy Pegler Elementary School in Okotoks, Alberta. The grade 5-6 class has asked me to come in and help them paint a sloth. So today, let's paint a sloth. Okay, a few things you're going to be needing to paint the sloth today. You're going to be needing a pad of watercolor paper or a piece of watercolor paper. It's a little bit more absorbent, and you can get that in an art supply store. These paints you can get at the dollar store. They work just fine. I've got three sizes of brushes here that I like to use, plus a charcoal pencil, and I've got a piece of Kleenex, not for crying over your paintings, but for dabbing up any messes you might have. Also, you'll need a jar, maybe a yogurt container, whatever, a cup full of water, fresh water, that you're going to change quite often. And I've also created a little sloth out of a kneaded eraser that we can use if we feel like we've made any mistakes in our drawing. So we're just about ready to go. Also, I like to have a hot drink. Today I'm having a cup or mug of Ovaltine. It's an old-time drink, kind of like hot chocolate, so have to ask your parents about that one. And I think we are ready to draw and paint the sloth. Okay, so we're going to be working on a format that's like landscape style. The little kids call it hot dog style when it's on its side like this, the paper. And we're going to start off by just roughly and lightly sketching in the big shapes. So I see a big tree coming in at an angle. And I also see, right now I'm looking at all the shapes around the sloth. I can see if I kind of trace this over like this, the circle that is the sloth's face or head. I'm just going to put that in like that. We're not going to worry about the eyes yet or anything like that, any details. And it's going to come in like that. And I can see there's a couple of claws coming in here. There's also claw coming in like that. Now the three-toed sloth, we're not going to count this top claw here. We're going to do these three claws here. They're kind of curved. Like this. And now the face is going to be, I had my students do this. We haven't done any human portraits on my videos yet. We are going to, but what you could do, if this is any help to you, is very lightly put a put a line down the middle and kind of a line like this, and that'll be able to help you space your eyes a little bit better on both sides of this line. Very human-like, the sloth's face, always smiling, and apparently that isn't indicative of its moods. It might not be happy, but it always appears to be smiling, the sloth does. And they can actually swivel their heads 360 degrees like a just like an owl can. Something that I learned when I was working with the students yesterday. And just an amazing being the sloth is. Just gonna do a little bit of its markings here. Kids always ask me, how can you do this so quickly? And I always give them the same answer. I say, you know what, I've been drawing for half a century, 50 years at least, and almost every day, mostly every week, because I love drawing, and that's why I'm sharing this with you, because I know chances are if you're watching this video, you love drawing too. I find that pretty much all kids that I talk to, they love drawing. Some of them don't think that they're very good at it, but they find that if they just follow a couple of instructions to get going, that they can do it. So that's what we're doing. We're not having a competition with anybody, because everybody's gonna interpret even this photo of the sloth, they're going to interpret it in a different way. And so I don't want you to compare yourself to anybody else. Lots of times my students produce more interesting results than I think that I do on that day, even though I shouldn't compare myself to them even, but it's all in the expression that you're going to get. Okay, so I think that I have enough of a drawing. We're going to leave the background pretty blank for now, and we're going to get ready to do some watercolor. Okay, now as I look at the photo, I'm going to look at what the biggest areas are, okay? And I've got this really big brush that I'm dipping in the water, and I'm going to do some big areas first. And what I see immediately is this tree that the sloth is hanging on to is almost like a brownie green. So I'm going to put some brown in there. Oops. And I'm going to mix in some kind of green in there too. And it's almost like, when you look at that tree, it's almost like a camouflage pattern. I know some of you wear wear kind of hunting gear, or your parents might hunt, and it almost looks like this tree. So I believe this picture was taken in Costa Rica, and the jungle is very much like camouflage clothing with the greens and the browns and whatnot. So we're going to do that a little bit. And okay, so you're probably wondering, all of the creatures or all of the beings that we've painted so far on my video channel have been from southern Alberta in the Treaty 7 area where I live. And why am I painting a sloth, which is on the other side of the world, really? And I have an answer for you, and that is, the students and teachers asked me to paint a sloth and draw a sloth because a student in their classmate, I think they wanted to cheer up a little bit. She's undergoing cancer treatment. So they had a really good idea of cheering up their classmate, and her name is Mira. And Mira came in with her dad yesterday to paint the sloth, and to tell us about the sloth, because with the Children's Wish Foundation, her big wish was to go see a sloth in Costa Rica, and so the Children's Wish Foundation sent her to Costa Rica, and she got to see the sloth. So this is what Mira had to say about the sloth and getting to see the sloth for real.
My name is Mira. I really like sloths because they move so slow, and they are an entire ecosystem within themselves.
Do you want to expand on that?
There's a species of moth that only lives in the fur of sloths. And I think that it's really neat that moth has decided, hey, this animal grows algae on its fur.
Is there anything else? I know that I heard that you went somewhere and you got to see a sloth. Do you remember what kind of sloth it was, and how did that make you feel when you saw it?
It was the three-toed sloth, and I found it amazing how green it was because of the algae that was living on it.
Cool. And when you saw it, was it active or was it very slow?
They were active but slow.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Mira. That's great. Okay, so you heard what Mira had to say about sloths, and that they were actually an ecosystem to themselves, and the moths were living on them, and algae was growing on them because they're so slow. So I'm going to add a little bit of green on the sloth, even though I might not see a lot of green in the photo. And another fact that we learned in the classroom about sloths was that they have a large stomach, and it takes them a month to digest one leaf. Also, it takes them a whole week to go to the bathroom to go poop. So that was another really interesting fact. Everything is much slower with the sloth, but I like the sloth because often I'm in a rush, in a hurry to do things, and the sloth kind of slows right down. It's in no hurry to do anything, and I think that it's very, very important, especially if you're not feeling well, to rest. Some of us find a hard time or have a hard time resting. Some of us maybe not so much, but it's very important to rest. It really is. I'm not going to put in a lot of trees in my sloth painting. I'm going to keep it kind of simple and just kind of make it green around the sloth a little bit. Okay, I'm going to try and do something a little bit wild with the background here. I'll just make it kind of like a cube. Okay, so I'm going to go over some line work with charcoal pencil here, just to make sure that everything is kind of accurate to this photo that we're working from, and that gives us a good idea of what we should work on next. Okay, now something else that you can do to bring out the whites is if you've got white watercolor in your set here. If you don't have white, because watercolor generally we don't use white, you can always get a tube of this gouache and it will work as well. So what I'm going to do is everywhere where I see something is white, fairly white, I'm just going to go in and put some, paint some white there. Okay, and so once you've kind of gone in and got some whites on there, then you can go back in, and everywhere where you see you may have missed some color, like I can see that there was some kind of brown in here that I missed. And in here, around the eyes. Of the baby sloth. We were going to come up with a name for this baby sloth, and one of the kids said, "Oh, isn't it adorable?" So I thought, why don't we call this baby sloth Adorbs? I think we could do that. As I've said in many of my videos, you know what? You have artistic license to change things, and you don't have to do these exact trees. Your painting isn't going to turn out just like mine anyway. So, you know, I tell the kids, as long as you're not putting in anything inappropriate there, then I tell the students, you know, put in your own background, but I like it if they try and keep it natural to what the sloth, how they would like their habitat to be, and then I think it's gonna turn out a little better. Like Mira suggested earlier, it's okay to put some green moss, some green on the sloth, because algae actually grows on the sloth and provides habitat for other creatures such as moths. So we'll put a little bit of green on the fur, or I'm going to anyway. You don't have to, just a suggestion. Doing some more drawing on here. Okay, I think that that this looks okay now. It is the 3rd of February. Now, these two girls at the beginning of class yesterday, they said this.
Sloth in it!
And so I think that we're going to call this painting Sloth in it. I think more of us, including myself, should just learn to relax a little bit more, and when we're not feeling well, we need to take the time out to heal and be patient, like the sloth is. So I'll put my signature on here, and thank you especially Mira for coming in for her classmates to share her love for the sloth, and your dad as well. And I hope that everybody will put out some good vibes and prayers for Mira, that her treatment is that it goes very well in the next while. And okay, there's the baby sloth.